What's up, family? Happy Thursday night. I hope everybody's having a good week, and hopefully y'all have been patient and stayed out of the chop this week because the big tech earnings finally took place tonight, guys, and now we can finally move on trading the second half of the year here now that these big earnings are over with. So as far as the earnings go, guys, tonight we had Apple, we had Amazon, we had Facebook, and we had Google. In other words, guys, we had a handful of stocks in that big tech sector that have single-handedly carried this whole market forward along with the semiconductor stocks. So we take a look here, guys, at Apple, and let's pull up the hourly chart. Market makers were pricing in a $12 move. That would mean, guys, they're pricing in a move just to about $397 here for Apple, blowing through the expected move, guys, trading well over 400 here in the after hours. Things are looking awesome for Apple, which is good for the rest of tech. Google, on the other hand, guys, market makers are pricing in about a $57 move. They're looking for an open right around $15.96. Looks like it's not going to happen. After shooting up momentarily, we faded back down here, and it's looking like, guys, Google's going to be a big old implied volatility crush and just pretty much, break the hearts of anybody holding those calls or puts into the earnings announcement. Facebook, market makers pricing in $12 move. They're looking for an open, guys, just above 248. Looking pretty solid at the moment. We did run as far as 254, pulling back a little bit. It'll be interesting to see. Does this thing kind of drop underneath the expected move by the open, just so those market makers can make sure that they wipe everybody who held those calls clean? Or do we continue to pump here? We'll take a look in the morning, but we're right around that expected move right here, guys. And then we have got Amazon. The market makers were pricing in a $145 move, looking for an open right around $31.97. And that's, guys, not surprisingly, just where we're hanging out here at the moment. So Apple, well above its expected move. Google, well below the expected move. Facebook and Amazon, we got a lot of time here left till the open. We'll have to see how things go as far as the expected move and whether or not they go ahead and give us that IV crush. But nonetheless, guys, none of them got sold off. No disappointments here. All of them looking pretty damn good. That's good for the rest of the market. So we've literally been waiting here doing a bunch of nothing all damn week, waiting for these earnings to go by. And now that they're done and over with, we can really begin to get back to work here, guys, get focused and get ready to trade the second half of the year. So a couple of big picture things to keep in mind right before we jump into the watch list right now is that, the market, guys, has clearly been doing a whole bunch of nothing, just kind of stuck here, trading above the 21 with no volume in sight, no momentum in sight, as we've been awaiting these earnings. Now that earnings are over, we really get to see what the market is made of and what the big money's looking to do. So we'll have to see, now that earnings are done, do we get a return of momentum into the SPY? Do we get some volume coming in? And can we finally begin to really fill this gap here? That takes place, guys. We're not that far from all-time highs. Now for the Qs, tomorrow morning, guys, will be day 3 for the Qs here inside of a daily squeeze. So we ran like crazy into the earnings weeks. We began to chill out, right? Anticipation of the earnings going nowhere. Now earnings are over. Things are looking positive, at least at the moment. We'll have to see if this squeeze can get working and fired towards the upside. So that'll be day 3 tomorrow, guys, here for the squeeze on the Qs. And 2 important things that we know about the squeezes. One, that inside the squeeze, it can be terribly choppy and just a total shit show. But once that squeeze fires and releases all that energy it's building up, oh my God, can we get some awesome momentum and some awesome opportunities. So that's really important, guys. The Qs, the tech stocks, along with semiconductors, have carried our entire market off the bottom since March up until this point. And now you got the Qs here in a daily squeeze. While it could be choppy while we're waiting for this thing to fire, when and if it does, we really want to get focused and get to work. So we take a look here, guys, at the QQQ futures, the NQ, and we're making a nice pop here, guys, up 1% after hours. Still a good amount, underneath the all-time highs, a good amount underneath that level that we're going to have to break through for that squeeze to fire. But nonetheless, guys, earnings for Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and Google, everything's looking positive at the moment. We've been patient here all week, and now we can start to get to work and jump into my watch list. All right, so you guys who were in the group, Y'all are familiar here, guys, with this sheet. And my big focus for the second half of the year here, guys, right? And I'll update y'all, over the next few weeks on kind of what I got going on in my own trading. But to give you guys, some insights, I'm going to kind of start the second half of the year with about $150,000 of capital in the Thinkorswim account. But I don't have a goal, guys, as far as I'm trying to turn the 150 into 200, into 300, into 500. My job is to focus on nothing but my go-to setups and to execute on my go-to setups, and that's it. That'll take care of everything else. So for me, the go-to setups are squeezes on multiple different time frames, as well as reversion to the mean, pullbacks to the 21 EMA on the daily chart. So we did, unfortunately, have Amazon in the daily squeeze. However, we take a look at that top Bollinger Band right up here. We're blowing through that, guys, tonight after the earnings announcement. So there's a pretty good likelihood that that ship has sailed. Ideally, on a daily squeeze, I'm looking to take my entries right around the midpoint, right around that 21 EMA. We're going to open up somewhere around here tomorrow. At least that's how it looks like right now. It's too late for me. That ship has sailed. So not really looking to jump into Amazon for a swing trade until we can get some kind of pullback or dip. Same thing here with Facebook. Right? We got the daily squeeze. I would love to get an entry here in this thing right around the 21 EMA, but I really begin to lose interest, guys, when we begin to run away from that 21 EMA, and we're pretty much at that breakout point. So again, go back to Facebook here, and we're blowing through that daily squeeze here on the after hours after earnings. So that's another ship that has sailed. But we got a couple on here, guys, so let's run through these real quick. I'm not going to go into much explanation on how, personally I'm looking to trade them, when I'm going to trade them. Tomorrow morning, guys, for those of y'all in the group, we'll cover that in the pre-market live stream, and you guys can check us out, if you want to learn a little bit more about the group itself. But let's take a look at these, guys. Start with the weekly time frames, and I like this one a lot. We know semiconductor stocks have been leading the market along with technology. AMD's looking awesome after earnings. Qualcomm's looking awesome after earnings. So any semi name in a squeeze right now is of interest to me. We got Micron here, guys, in a weekly squeeze. While it's not the prettiest squeeze itself, what's more meaningful to me is that, man, if this thing fires, we could see a couple of weeks of some serious momentum here from Micron. So I'm not looking necessarily to trade the weekly squeeze, but that weekly squeeze, guys, makes me an even bigger fan here of the daily squeeze, right? In the event this daily squeeze can fire and we start releasing energy to the upside, we're also cooking inside of a weekly squeeze. If that fires, it just adds fuel here, and we can really see this thing begin to pump, especially if the big money, continues to aggressively buy these semi stocks for the remainder of the year. So I like Micron. Not saying I'm jumping in tomorrow, but I like it, guys. And y'all know I'm trading the squeezes, sometimes going with, Delta 70 in the money calls. More often than not, going with those out the money put credit spreads. So I like Micron, weekly squeeze, and the daily squeeze. And then a couple of other daily squeezes here, guys. We still actually got Google. So tomorrow is going to be day 2 for Google here inside of this brand new daily squeeze. And I'm interested, guys, in taking entries close to that 21 EMA right around here. And I lose interest as these moves begin to basically run away. So if we take a look at the hourly chart, Google's a lot more attractive to me than Amazon or Apple right now, or Facebook, simply because it hasn't exploded. Now, granted, it's not all that close to the 21 EMA, but we get a little bit of dip, we get some profit taking, we get a little bit closer, guys, to what, for me at least, is that ideal buy zone. So not something I'm looking to trade immediately, but it's going to remain there, guys, on my focus list. And then we've got NVIDIA here as well. NVIDIA's been such a blast to trade this year, guys. I just closed a profitable trade on Monday. I had a put credit spread short in the 380 puts. We're going to go into day 2 of a daily squeeze tomorrow, right underneath all-time highs, but we still have earnings coming up, I believe, next week or the week after. Like I mentioned, guys, I like taking my entries, whether it's naked calls or a credit spread, down near the mean at the 21, and I begin to lose interest the further we get away from the 21. So we got the all-time high right there. We take a look at NVIDIA after hours, and you're nowhere near that 21 EMA. So for me, guys, I love the squeeze, but it's not near my ideal buy zone, and it's got earnings coming up. It's completely running away here. Not going to be looking to get into NVIDIA until we can pull back. So with that being said, off the list she comes. Only focusing, guys, on my go-to setups. If it's not ready to be traded, it's not making its way there onto the sheet. We've got a bit of an ugly squeeze here, guys, for Shop. Now, Shop is a total pain in the ass. The spreads on the calls and the puts are horrendous, which means, guys, you basically got to take your position, accept zero, and then just hold the hell on, and hopefully that thing makes a move you're looking for. So it's kind of been such a good move this year, such a fast-moving stock. But as far as the options go, at least in my experience, total pain in the ass. Nonetheless, though, guys, I can't ignore a good-looking daily squeeze on one of the strongest stocks in the market. Same thought process. I'm interested in taking entries down near the 21, really losing interest up here. So if we go look at the futures, or not the futures, the hourly chart, we're nowhere near where I want to get long. I'm not looking to get involved, guys, unless we're near the 21 EMA. And I got a couple of videos here on the channel explaining my thought process behind that. But nonetheless, it'll stay on the focus list because I like the daily squeeze, but I'm not chasing that. It's not where I want to get long right now. So back to the list there, guys. We've got Square. Beautiful daily squeeze. Tomorrow's going to be day 3, right underneath all-time highs. Not as close to that 21 EMA as I would like, but I do like the fact that it's been chopping back and forth nicely. Call premiums have come down to earth. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on this one, guys. We got the all-time highs just above, right around 134. I'm liking this one a lot. So I'm not saying I'm trading it tomorrow. Not saying I'm trading it next week. Not saying I'm even going to trade it. But it's on my focus list, and it's something I'm considering and something I'll be prepared to trade in the event I feel that's the right thing to do. So I like SQ there, guys. And let's begin to kind of rifle through the rest of them quickly. Don't want to make this video too long here. We already discussed the squeeze there for the Qs, which to me is the most important chart in the market. We've also got a daily squeeze here, guys, in the runner Zoom. Not ready yet, right? Momentum looking a little bit bullish at the moment, so I'm not trying to get long something before it could potentially just release energy to the downside. Going to be patient, but not time yet. And then the last daily squeeze, guys, on my focus list is TTD here. Same thing, big ass move, big ass pump. Finally taking a breather, chilling out right at that 21 EMA. Not going to rush into it. See how this develops, see if the volume and the bullish momentum begins to take place, but not a bad looking squeeze. Just filling up my sheet, guys, with my go-to setups, and then trading them when I feel it's the right time and place to do so. So that's it, guys, for daily squeezes. Y'all can go ahead and screenshot this list and look at the rest of these if you like. My favorite setup right now for tomorrow's session is probably this 4-hour squeeze on Microsoft, especially considering technology stocks were super strong today, or after earnings rather. If we do get continuation in tech tomorrow or even next week, guys, Microsoft coiling up here, building up energy, could be getting ready for a nice move to the upside. So you can get a nice couple hours there momentum if that 4-hour squeeze fires. And then miss Tesla right here. I like Tesla a lot right now. We're chilling out, guys, not too far above that 21 EMA on the daily chart. Right, pulled back last week, we held up nicely. We've got a 4-hour squeeze just about to start. We've got a 2-hour squeeze looking really tight, and we've also got a nice looking hourly squeeze. So at the moment, guys, while I'm waiting for those swing trade setups to potentially be ready to hit on the other daily squeezes and things of that nature, I'm liking the lower time frame squeezes here on Tesla and Microsoft. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on those, but we got a long time here until tomorrow morning's open. Anything can change, but nonetheless, guys, I've really enjoyed this week, kind of taking a mini vacation, resetting, refreshing my mind, waiting for earnings tonight. Now that earnings are done and things have gone well, it's back to work tomorrow morning. So I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And for those of y'all in the group, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.